Metal Warriors, welcome here again to Iron Madness. Today, our special guest is Bayley. Blaze, welcome here to the channel.
Hello, thank you for having me on your show. It's good to be here.
Thank you so much. Okay, first of all, you had a heart attack months ago.
Yes.
And of course, that's something quite hard that can change your life. So I wanted to know that if you had changed something on your life since then, something whatever in your life.
I didn't know, but I was diabetic type 2. I didn't know that before. And I had heart disease. I didn't know that. So the big change really is the diet is try not to have any sugar in the diet and keep down the carbs, because what happens is it affects your blood very badly.
Yes.
Even if you don't have diabetes, and this is one of the contributors towards my heart attack. So that's the big change, is try very hard to eliminate where possible sugar and try to keep all candy and desserts. Yes. It's a lot, man, but that's the big change. That's a big change. But the other thing, when I was in hospital, they took me in. I said, I've got to get back to work. I need to see my fans. I got a lot more music to make. I don't feel I'm at the end of my creative best. I feel like I'm on my way to doing some great work. So I really wanted to survive and get back. I was lucky. It's not heart failure that I had. It's a heart attack. So I didn't pass out. I didn't see the light, anything. They managed to catch me in time. The ambulance was in my house. They got to me in about 2 minutes. But they said if it had been 10 minutes, I might not have made it. So I'm very, very lucky.
Of course, just in time.
About that. I have a lot of things I want to try musically, and a lot of places I'd like to go and see my fans and say thank you. When the tour had to be postponed, no one said, "Oh, I'll cancel the show, we'll never make it." No fan handed the ticket back. Everybody says, "I'll just wait till it's better." So rehearsing. I've managed to do full rehearsals with the Absolva band, ready for my tour in October.
Yes.
And then with the Wolfsbane band, we're starting our full rehearsals now, and that's in November, December, and it's very, very exciting. My voice is feeling good. I'm getting my strength back in my body, and I think by October, I'll be back to full strength.
That's amazing, of course, and we want to see you. The fans want to see you back in stage, and as I see, you were really waiting to go up in stage again. So that's fantastic. Okay, my next question is to let the fans know a little bit more about you. Okay, so I wanted to know how and why did you start listening to heavy metal music?
That's an interesting question. And I suppose, like anybody in the beginning, you listen to what's on the radio. And I was very lucky, because all those years ago, then we had on a Sunday evening, the chart rundown. And it was the top 40 every Sunday. It's before Spotify or streaming or CDs or anything.
Yes.
And so on the radio every Sunday, it was the chart rundown. Occasionally, a heavy band would be on the chart rundown. And that really stood out to me. Motorhead were in the charts. Iron Maiden got in the charts. Judas Priest got in the charts. Even though they weren't played on mainstream radio in the week, then they had to be in the chart rundown because the fans bought the record and got them to that place in the chart. So if they got to number 10 or number 1, whatever it was, they're in the charts.
Yes.
And so they were on, and I was very lucky as well. It was the time of punk and the Sex Pistols, a lot of heavy music, crazy like that as well. And that's what really started me on my journey. But for me, metal is the music that I go to when I really need something. It's like the best cup of coffee that I could ever have. If I've got my favorite metal albums, I got this one for when I feel bad, this one for when I need to pick myself up, this one for when times are tough. And you know what? Sometimes put the streaming service on now. We have streaming services. It doesn't cost anything. Well, not much. And you can hear new bands and see what they're like. Back in the day, when we relied on magazines, the journalists were not always honest. And you'd have to read a review or look at a cover and go, will I like that? And spend money. Now you can listen and go, will I like? No, it's not for me. Oh, yeah, this is for me. So the great thing for me is in the modern world, if people hear the name Blaze Bayley, whether it's from Iron Maiden or Wolfsbane or my solo career, they could just go to streaming or go on iTunes and they can listen to me straight away just to give me a chance. Listen to a couple of songs, and if you like it, wonderful. But don't say, oh, I won't listen because I don't like his haircut. No, at least give me a chance. And then if you don't like it, that's fine. But just listen to a couple of songs. That's it.
Yeah, of course, of course. That's the good point of this.
You will be the first to find the edge of what is possible for a man. I will live for 1,000 years. I will live for 1,000 years. No more will I be ruled by fear. I will live for 1,000 years.
Let's continue. War Within Me. You recognize this name. This is your last album with your solo career, and it was released in 2021. So since then, you released a live album a few months ago, but we don't have news about any new studio album. You are working on it. You have plans for a new album, an upcoming new album in a few months or next year. Are you thinking about this?
I'm hoping. We're working now. I'm hoping that by next March we'll be able to talk about it.
Okay.
My focus now is on getting back on stage.
Yes.
And performing most of the songs from the new live album.
Yeah.
Damaged, Strange, Different, and Live.
Of course.
Which is a mix of my old songs from Iron Maiden. It's like 25 years old now, but they're my versions of those songs. Just a little bit different.
Yes,
I've
changes.
done them just in my style. I think if you're a fan of X Factor or Virtual 11 albums with Iron Maiden, then you'll recognize the songs. And maybe after a while you'll say, these are the changes. But it's just a little bit different in my own style. So that's what we'll be doing on my shows in October. So I hope that it goes well.
Yes, it will go well. Okay, to know more about you, again, this question is about which band would you like to collaborate with? It could be any band or artist.
Oh man, that's a great question, but it's a very difficult question.
It's
because
difficult.
there are so many so many bands
Yes.
that you think, oh, they've done this great song, they've done that great song. But I think, I think I could do a really good song with Sabaton, and I love his voice. I just
Yes.
love his voice, his delivery, and the times I've met him. Such a wonderful guy. Meet him, the whole band really, just great songwriters. And I
Yes.
think that there could be room to do something where maybe I play Churchill and he plays another, something like this.
Yes.
And it'd be some kind of great duet thing where two great historical characters are
Yeah.
talking,
I
like
want to see that.
Genghis Khan and Alexander the Great. Ha ha!
Yeah, that would be amazing. Would love to see that. Now I wanted to talk something about your solo career. And it's a question about what you felt when you started. I mean, do you think you had it probably a bit difficult? You had to prove that you were good, even though you came from Iron Maiden, you left Iron Maiden, but you had to work really hard, even though you came from a very, very big band.
So much is out of your control because music business, especially back then, I didn't realize that I could have made my own little record company. I have now. I have my own small record company, and I'm the only artist on it, and I get distribution in all the major territories. I'm on all the streaming services. But back then, I didn't realize, I didn't have the confidence that I have now. I could start my own label. And if I had, I think things would have been different. But the main thing for me, I'd always been a singer in a band. I just wanted to get back singing. I knew I could make a good record. And I've been in Iron Maiden, and I worked with Steve Harris. He gave me so much confidence about my own ability, about my songwriting and everything. I knew I could do it. What you don't know is, can you get in front of fans? And I couldn't do that. For that, you need a management, you need a big budget, advertising, you need to get on a lot of festivals, support big bands. I couldn't do any of that. That was the reason that my album got nowhere. The manager I had at the time, he didn't book one single show to coincide with the release of my Silicon Messiah album. So it was tragic, really. That's the thing. I knew I could do a good album. I knew I could write good songs, because when I was in Iron Maiden, Man on the Edge was #1 in some countries in the world.
Yes.
That was the first, and Iron Maiden chose that as a first single. So, of course, I could be good enough to do it. I knew that, but I couldn't get in front of enough people. Even though I made a good album, I couldn't get in front of enough fans at that time to say, look, please listen to what I do. I think if you like Iron Maiden, Metallica, then you might like some of what I do. But I couldn't do that at the time. So that's really, I didn't have a good start. So it really took up until Chris Appleton said to me, if you want to try again with heavy metal, I'll come with you. I think it's possible. I think we could do it. And then an opportunity came up, and I said to Chris, do you want to have a go? And he said, yeah. And it was the anniversary of Silicon Messiah. And then Chris booked a tour and got his band together. And instead of no shows booked, then he booked 35 shows around Europe. And that was the real Silicon Messiah tour. Years later, after the album, man, we played the whole album. It was fantastic. Just a few fans, but starting to grow, starting to pick up. We were happy then. If we had 30 tickets in advance, we were like, woo! It's brilliant. Because before that, it was difficult to get anybody to come and see me at some shows. And then slowly, things started to improve. So from then and now we get 100, 200 people is a normal thing now at a Blaze Bayley concert. And I don't want to do big concerts. I play the venues that I like to play, intimate venues. And yeah, it's a world of difference since then. To be where I am now, an independent, full-time, professional heavy metal singer.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky.
A dream.
So lucky to be able to do that, to do the job that I love. I'm so lucky.
Each step gets closer to losing his head. Someone in heaven and they let him down. Nothing is fair. You falling down, falling down, falling down, falling down.
I want to know now, what was the last concert, the last show you went, but paying the ticket as a fan?
Oh, that's a challenge. Because a lot of places, they know me. If it's a rock or a metal gig, then normally I know someone. I just say, hey, put me on the list, man.
Yeah.
And that's it. So I think maybe it was Rod Stewart.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, he's been around a long time, going back to the Faces and everything like that. And some friends of mine are huge Rod Stewart fans, and he's got some classic old songs. So I think that was the last one that I paid, but that was because I got a really cheap ticket, you know, to see him. But if I go and see smaller bands normally, then I don't ask for the guest list. I like to support the band and pay the ticket.
Yeah, of course, and that's really good. Okay, now about Wolfsbane, you're active again. We had an album in 2012, if I'm right, and another one months ago. So you are active again with Wolfsbane. You have announced some dates. What are your plans? You want to continue your solo career and being part of Wolfsbane at the same time, two projects?
Yeah, what happens is we don't have the four of us in Wolfsbane. We don't have a lot of time where the four of us can get together and do a lot. So what we do is we make the best of the time that we have. Jace Edwards is a producer. He has his own studio. So we're very lucky we're able to record with him. And he's done all the recent albums. And the last one, Genius, the new studio album, man, it's just fantastic. It's the best thing, I think, the best album we've ever made. And if you listen to all the old albums, it's the best sounding album. And the songs, it's so proud of it. And the tour that we're doing in November, December is to promote the vinyl release of the Genius album.
When you were a little kid, what did you like to play, to entertain with? Video games, board games, sports? What did you like to play?
That's a challenging question the older that you get, because you're further away from that kid. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So if like you're 20, you're only 10 years away from that kid. But when you're dinosaur age like me, you're 50 years away from that kid. So it's a challenging question. But I like to make things. I was very lucky in one way that I lived on a very small farm, and we had ducks and geese and pigs and all things like this. So workshops as well. So I like to make things. And one of the other things I like to do was the first kite was invented that had the two strings that you could do stunts with. So me and my friends, we would go to the park and hope for some wind, and then you could do the stunt kites. So that was good. And I don't know, the feeling as close as you could be to flying. But I remember that.
Now I want to talk about Spain. For now, we have no news about Blaze Bayley here in Spain. There are no dates, but I guess it's just for now. Of course, you will come back here. We want to see you here. So what can you tell us about?
I love coming to tour. There I have wonderful, wonderful memories. Spanish fans were so kind to me when I was in Iron Maiden. Everybody gave me a chance. They didn't say, oh no, it's not Bruce. They said, okay, let's see what this new guy can do. And it was absolutely great. I've had some wonderful shows in Spain. The last one we did, I think, Rock the Coast. We did some fantastic shows, incredible support. I can't wait to come back. We're talking to people now, to promoters, and we hope to have an announcement soon.
Okay.
Please look at blazebayley.net, my website, and as soon as we can confirm anything, we will put it on there. But we really hope to come back next year at some point.
We will be there. Before finishing, I wanted to ask you something. It's more about myself and my feelings about with this song, because I really like it, and it's What Will Come. It's, for me, it's a fantastic song, but of course I guess it's difficult to play live in every show. But I don't know if you have played it a lot of times. I guess that probably only a few. But have you thought about trying to play it in the next tour or in future years?
Well, we did have it in the set when it was that album that came out, and we did the tour to go with it. There were some shows where we had that in the set. So yeah, definitely something I'd consider bringing back. The unusual thing for me, and really cool, was a lot of fans said to me at the time when that album came out, Infinite Entanglement, I think it was, they said, my favourite song is What Will Come.
What Will
But
Come
it's the
is
acoustic song on the heavy metal album, telling a story. So that was very, very cool. And for me, as a songwriter, the fact that it's this dark sadness and it's captured in an acoustic way with that, with the voice is featured and it plays against the metal sound of the album. It's very, very cool. So I love that song. I love to perform it live. It gets a great reaction as well. So thanks for reminding me about that. And send a message, and you know what? I'll try and fit that in on the Spanish leg of the tour. If we do, just send me a message, remind me, and I'll try and do that, man.
Okay, that would be incredible, unbelievable. My last question, that it's not a question, was to give a few minutes for you to talk, to tell whatever you want to the fans, to the people who listen and support you. It was time for you to say that, to explain us whatever you want.
Okay, well, this is the new album, Damaged, Strange, Different and Live. It's my live album, and it's special to me because on side one, it's songs from War Within Me that have their own life now because of performing them live in front of the fans. And side two, some of my songs from the Iron Maiden era that I feel are worth doing again because I do them in my own way. So this is an album I'm very proud of. I'm playing most of those songs on the tour that I'm doing in October. I got 6 shows, and then next year I think we're going to start end of January, and we're just going to keep going with that. So I'm very excited about that. I want to say a huge thank you to all of my fans that have supported me, sent cards, letters, wishing me well, and I hope to see you all very soon. And if you don't know me, then please go to YouTube or Spotify or streaming service and listen to War Within Me, but just listen to the first 3 songs and then decide if you like Blaze Bayley or not. And if you don't, that's okay, because my music is not for everybody. It's got a strong message a lot of the time that's an anti-suicide message and helping yourself, finding the strength within yourself. And I'm a science nerd, geek. I'm interested in everything to do with science and space and things like this. So my music isn't for everybody. But I would say that if you give me a chance, that's all I ask. Listen with an open mind to see if you think that I'm worthy of your support. And to my fans who have supported me for so long and keep supporting me through my ill health, I'm coming back. I'm thinking of you every day. I'm thinking of the day that I can stand before you and sing to you again. And I thank you not just for helping me to live my dream, but for being part of my dream.
Really beautiful words. You thanked your fans. Now it's my turn to thank you for your dedication, for your time, for being there for the fans always after the shows, singing everyone, taking photos with everyone, even it's raining, it's hot, it's cold, whatever. You don't mind that, and we really appreciate that. I have the whole albums singed. I have a picture here for the first time I saw you. I already sing it too. So thanks for everything you do, and hope to see you really, really soon.
Thanks, man. Hello, I am Blaze Bayley. This is Metal Warriors. Nos vemos en la próxima. Gracias.
You can take it all that's left behind. It's the dust that we are made.